Welcome to the insane ramblings of an insane woman. But I wanted to get this on film, kind of, I don't know. This is my idea of the future. I just watched uh, Critical's video, Moist Critical, Charlie, whatever, uh, Penguin Z0. Either way, I just watched his video on AI becoming good, and specifically on like voice synthesization and whatnot. And it's gotten me thinking about sort of the future of things. Um, the, I mean, I've kind of already gone on my ramble about this, and I'll see if I can pull it up again. This is a monumental moment in history that I'm a part of at 17 years old, where this is one of those things you learn about in history classes, like the roaring 20s, or the social changes of the Vietnam War, the invention of the internet, the launch of the first iPhone, launching into the era of the smartphone. Hell, even the iPod, but that was a little bit less of a cultural change and more just like a hey, look, instead of using a CD player. Uh, but I think this is the most comparable to the launch of the internet, because when the internet first started, it was a smaller thing. It could only do so much, and it was like super cool, super advanced, but limited. And it has grown and blossomed rapidly within like less than 30 years, give or take, into this massive thing that we all know and love today. Uh, and AI is sort of taking the same path. It's started out as this small thing. I mean, it technically started out as just algorithm that does the learning algorithm essentially that just did a thing, and it wasn't really smart. It just kind of took information, spat out other information, and it has grown into things like AI Dungeon was kind of the first bastion of this new era, where you had that little little text prompts, and then you write in your bits, and it makes a little D&D style game for you, totally based off of AI. And it was not great originally, but it got better really quick. And if I were to check in on it now, I'd assume it'd be really good. And then you have stuff like Novel AI and ChatGPT and beta.character.ai, uh, and other stuff like that, like this voice synthesization software that Critical made the video on, and all that kind of stuff. And it's advancing so quickly that by 2033, screw going to the moon again or going to Mars or whatever, this is a new era. This is changing the way we live once again. Just like the introduction of the smartphone completely changed global society, that's what this is going to do. But it could be for the worse. We'll have to see. There's optimism and there's pessimism, and I don't really know how this is going to turn out. I don't want anybody walking down on me here. Right, but it's going to be an interesting future, and it's the first major event aside from COVID that I will live through in my life. The first major turning point in society. And I thought that was COVID. I don't think COVID was it. It hasn't really been a major turning point in society. Sure, you've had like restrictions and whatnot, and it has changed some things. It has improved like working at home and brought that into the mainstream, I guess you could say. But that's not really enough for a major societal change. But with this AI stuff, you could like combine the technology of ChatGPT or beta character AI with the voice synthesization software, with the budding image and video, even AI generation software. Something like This Person Does Not Exist, but animated, with a video production software that, even though we're still in the beta phase of making AI generated pictures, eventually we will get to the stage where we can do video. It's just going to take a while because video is extremely complicated and we still haven't perfected pictures yet. But when it comes to like combining all of those things, you could create a friend. You could create a digital person to interact with. People could never see another human being and still have friends and a girlfriend or whatever. And like, that's just insane. And we haven't gotten to the point of true sentience even. It's just the AI, the character, taking information from you, from your inputs, from the internet, and baking it into itself to spit out a response, which is what beta character and ChatGPT are currently doing, just on a lesser level than something I would be talking about. So even then, that changes the fabric of society, true intelligence or not. And then once we get to that point, there's nowhere to go but to true intelligence. And we'll have to see how that one goes. Any movies have warned us against it, but we'll see if we can do it properly. But it all depends on who does it in the end. And that's the issue, because I don't have faith in a lot of humanity. But I wanted to document this as a moment in history, as me at 17 years old, currently going by the name Autumn Noel Muller. This is a turning point in history. This is the beginning of either the end, the beginning, or something greater. This could go a lot of ways, and it all depends on how the world moves forward and how the world accepts this new information and what kinds of people take it into their hands, what they do with it. Because there's already a lot of risks to using this software, and people have already taken advantage of it. Stuff like deepfakes and using the voice synthesization software to mimic a celebrity's voice to make them say something they never said, to get them canceled. Doing deepfakes of, like, we already had that massive Twitch streamer controversy where they did deepfakes of Twitch streamers' faces onto porn actresses' bodies and put these Twitch streamers that would never do anything sexual into like that kind of situation just by slapping their face on somebody else's and selling it. And that's already a malicious use of this incredible technology. And that's like the first thing people thought to do with deepfakes. It's going to be an interesting road ahead, and I have about 5 months-ish until I turn 18, and by 2023 I will be 27, which is such a short amount of time away, but such an old age to be from the point of a 17-year-old. It's scary to think how fast time moves, and it's scary to think how fast this technology moves. And like with mom and dad being born in the early 70s, having grown up in the 80s, they've experienced these kinds of events happening. these, like the women's rights movements and is that too early? No, I think either way. The internet, computers, this boom of technology, they were right in the middle of that. The technological boom was Gen X. And millennials had obviously the millennium, but they had the cell phones and smartphone boom and the iPod. Millennials didn't really get that much, did they? I don't know. But the boom of the internet truly happened in the millennial era, so we'll give the millennial era the internet. But now for Gen Z and Gen Alpha, this is what our generation is going to be. That's our generation's major event. I mean, obviously, the whole idea Gen X has lived through all of those things. What am I going to live through? I'm going to live through COVID, the boom of AI, whatever ends up being the metaverse, whether it ends up being VR chat just becoming really good, Facebook actually making a good platform, which I doubt the actual metaverse is going to go anywhere. Facebook just fucking sucks. Or if it's some third-party company with AR, Apple, Google, AR, VR, who knows at this point? Are we going to get something out of Ready Player One? Are we going to get The Matrix? Time will tell, but for now, COVID and AI. And the counter will keep going up as long as I age. And it will be interesting to see where it heads next. Yeah. I'm glad I documented this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I will see you whenever the hell you pull up this video again.